evening. Good evening. I'm Wesley. Let me introduce myself. I'm Reginald Wesley, Trustee and Honorary Secretary of His Highness Sri Srikantadatta Narasimharaja Wadiyar Foundation. The foundation, as you all know, perhaps, was started in 2017 by Her Highness Srimati Pramoda Devi. On behalf of the foundation, on the behalf of Srimati Pramoda Devi, I extend a warm welcome to everyone. Thank you for accepting this, our invitation, and being here in good numbers, large numbers. In fact, we were not very sure if even the small hall would be filled, but good response. Thank you so much. And there are balcony seats, some still going, available. So if anybody wants to go to the balcony and sit down, please do so. You will have a better view from there. A warm welcome once again to everyone, and especially to the author of the book that we are going to launch today, Shri Ganesh Shivaswamy. Welcome. Welcome to you, to your family, and to all your associates who have stood by you as you brought out this book. May I now request Her Highness to please come on stage. Shri Ganesh, please come on stage. Shri Ashwath, come over. Shri Ravi Varma, please. We'd like to welcome the dignitaries of the dais. I don't know if everyone is aware of this. This is Mr. Ravi Varma, a descendant of Raja Ravi Varma. And that is Mr. Ashwath Naroth. He is the man who is the designer, who has helped him design the book and bring it out. And of course, the man of the evening, Ganesh Shivaswamy, everyone knows him. Raja Ravi Varma, the painter, had a close and long-standing professional relationship with the Mysore royal family. In fact, from as long ago as 1885. He first visited the Mysore palace during Maharaja Chamraja Wadiyar, the 10th reign, and continued his association to create paintings for the new palace during Maharaja Krishnaraja Wadiyar, the 4th era. His association lasted about 2 decades. It is because of this historic connection that the 4th volume, titled Raja Ravi Varma, An Everlasting Imprint, The Epics Imagined, is being released under the banner of the Sri Srikantadatta Narasimharaja Wadiyar Foundation. And in this historic Chandrashala Totti, this is called the Chandrashala Totti, which was not being used, but thanks to Her Highness, she got this renovated, and the rest is for all of you to see. You know, it's done up well, and for a small gathering, it's very useful. His volume deals with the images associated with the Ramayana and Mahabharata. That's just a small introduction that I would like to give. Otherwise, he will be speaking about the book So I don't want to spend much time because otherwise we'll run out of time. Okay. Now, before we start with the book release, we have Shravan to come and give us an invocation. Please come.
Amba, Amba Shri Raja Rajeshwari, Amba Shri Raja Rajeshwari, Amba Shri Raja Rajeshwari, Ambujakshi Shri Kamakshi, Amba Shri Raja Rajeshwari, Ambujakshi Shri Kamakshi, Amba Shri Raja Rajeshwari. लंबोधर जननी कामेश्वरी, लंबोधर जननी कामेश्वरी, संबोधिनी सुरेश्वरी, लंबोधर जननी कामेश्वरी, संबोधिनी सुरेश्वरी, शातोदरी शाकंभरी, श्रीपति सोदरी, श्रुतजन शुभकरी, शिवशंकरी अम्बा, शातोदरी शाकंभरी, श्रीपति सोदरी, श्रुतजन शुभकरी, शिवशंकरी अम्बा, श्रीराज राजेश्वरी, अम्बुजाक्षी श्री कामाक्षी, अम्बा श्रीराज राजेश्वरी। एकानेका शरमनुरूपिणी, एकानेका शरमनुरूपिणी, एकाग्र चितार्चिततोषिणी, एकानेका शरमनुरूपिणी, एकाग्र चितार्चिततोषिणी, शोकशमनकारिणी, कल्याणी, शोकशमनकारिणी, कल्याणी, शाम्भवी रमदिशक्ति वासिनी, विकाररहित विमलेश्वरी, विकाररहित विमलेश्वरी, विनुत श्री विद्या षोडशाक्षरी, विकाररहित विमलेश्वरी, विनुत श्री विद्या षोडशाक्षरी, आकारादि शकारांत वागीश्वरी, भोगवसंत भोगेश्वरी, विकाररहित विमलेश्वरी, विनुत श्री विद्या षोडशाक्षरी, आकारादि शकारांत वागीश्वरी, भोगवसंत भोगेश्वरी, अम्बा श्रीराज राजेश्वरी, अम्बुजाक्षी श्री कामाक्षी, अम्बा श्रीराज राजेश्वरी।
the dignitaries on the dais to please light the traditional lamp to mark the beginning of the program. I'll now request Srimati Pramoda Devi Wadiyar to come and say a few words.
Eldrigu namaskara. Good evening to all of you. Let me welcome you all, and it's very heartening to see the hall full. To be honest, as the secretary said, we didn't expect the hall to get full because it's still just 1 week old. Last Friday we did the puja, and then it's just 1 week old, and then it's nice to see the children. If you like to go up, you get a better view there from the balcony. I'm very happy, delighted to release this book. There are many reasons for me to have agreed to release this book. One of them, of course, mainly is the relationship between the artist, that's Raja Ravi Varma, and the works he did for the family. I'm very happy to meet Raja Ravi Varma's descendant from Rama Varma of Kilimanur, where Ravi Varma came from. And he's, I think, kind of very, very close to the family, and of course of Travancore family as well. And Mr. Ashwath Naroth is the designer who has designed the book. Not just this book, but the series, all the series of the fourth one, and also you're planning 7 books, I suppose, 6 series, and all the best for that. And then, as I said, that was the reason. And then this, I think after 50 years, this is being used. The last time, in the recent times which we used this hall, was maybe just some small congregation. And other than that, this hall is named as Chandrashali Tutti, as you've always seen, all of you have seen in the invitation. And only yesterday I learned that someone told me that during Krishnaraj Wadiyar's one of those occasions, the coronation or the wedding, they held about 18 natkas here. And for the Sambhavani which was given to them was also 18 varahas. So after that, I don't think any other function has been held here. That is many years, many decades. So I'm happy to have this hall reopened now, and then I hope we'll continue to have all our foundation small gatherings and programs here. And thank you once again, and thank you, Ganesh, for giving me the pleasure of releasing your book in Mysore. And Ganesh is one of those people who I should say that very persuasive in his own way, in his own way. And I'm happy that he did persuaded me to do this, because it should have happened last year. Reasons, unavoidable reasons, it get postponed. So we had to wait for 26 to release the book. So thank you, and I hope you enjoy the music kacheri, which is followed by the talk by Ganesh Shivaswamy. I'm sure you all are here eager to listen to him about the book. Thank you all.
We have Sri Ashwath Narot here, a close associate of Ganesh. He will speak about his association and how they brought about this book. Over to you. Come.
Good evening to all of you. Good evening, Your Highness, Ravi Varma ji. My name is Ashwath. I was given the privilege by Ganesh to design this book. I'm not going to speak much about design, but I'll tell you the story behind the book, and at least my story behind the book. So I was introduced to Ganesh by a common friend of ours, Sharon Apparao, from Apparao Galleries in Chennai. She couldn't be here today, but she called me and she said, I have this friend of mine I want you to meet. He's writing a book on an artist, and please come to meet him. Of course, I met Ganesh, and then Ganesh, he casually asked me about my work, and of course at the time I had no idea how the size of the work was unknown to me. Of course, later that evening I received an email with 1,800 images and a manuscript long enough to write 10 books. And if you think I was intimidated, you should have been at the meetings that we had with the publishers, because most people show up with one book, wanting to publish one book, and Ganesh shows up wanting to publish 6 right away. So it's been a very interesting experience. Of course, designing the books was, it's the amount of research that has gone into this, as I'm sure you'll all see, is quite, I mean, it's insane. There's no other way to say it. And Ganesh, as you know, is a lawyer by training and by profession. So no conversation with Ganesh is just a conversation. There's always a pretext, a subtext, a closing argument, and you have to be very present. So, but I must say that since designing the books, I've been very lucky to have gone on, many trips to discover the world of Ravi Varma, and also we had the chance to go to Kilimanur to meet Rama Varma ji there, and I think it's been one of the most enriching experiences of sort of in terms of my design career, and I wish Ganesh nothing but the best, and I'm sure you'll find everything you were looking for. So thank you all. Thank you guys.
Next, may I request Sri Rama Varma Thampuran. He hails from Kilimannur Palace, the place where Raja Ravi Varma lived and painted several works. He is a musician and a representative of the illustrious artist family. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, everybody. the most respected Her Highness Srimati Pramoda Devi Ji, Maharani Ji. My humble pranams to you, not only from my side, but from my great ancestor, Raja Ravi Varma and his family, representing the Kilimani Palace on behalf of Kilimani Palace. My humble pranams to you. Namaste, Maharani Ji. My dear Ganesh Ji, Ashwat, and respected Secretary Ji, after reaching here, then we met and discussed about Ravi Varma, and happy to meet you and everybody gathered here. Scholars are here, conservation work engineers and all great people are here, artists are here, those who are loving Ravi Varma, art and culture. Everybody here, my humble pranams. Memories flash across my mind as I am standing in front of you at this historic venue, witnessing the release of the 4th volume of my dear friend Shri Ganesh Shivaswamy's book series on my great ancestor, artist Raja Ravi Varma. I remember the occasions of the release of the previous volumes. I had the privilege of being invited as a guest of honor during all these grand functions. Thank you, Ganesh Ji. I am so happy to be here in Mysore Palace. This is my first visit to the palace. Ravi Varma was a regular guest at the palace for commissions during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. And his last visit was, I think, in 1904 with his son Rama Varma to paint the Ghata operations or elephant capturing. The book series Everlasting Imprint is an unmatched tribute to the living legacy of the legendary artist Raja Ravi Varma. Author Shri Ganesh Shivaswamy's work represents passionate commitment and years of meticulous research. His appointment as the honorary curator of the new wing of Sri Chitra Art Gallery, the Raja Ravi Varma Art Gallery, recently is renovated and shifted to a new building also in Thiruvananthapuram, dedicated especially to the works of Raja Ravi Varma, is enough to prove his in-depth knowledge and expertise in this field. During the initial period of data collection, Ganesh Ji used to visit the Kilimanur Palace to refer our collection of books and other documents. That was the beginning of a very affectionate and brotherly relationship which still continues. I extend my heartiest congratulations to Shri Ganesh Shivaswamy. May this 4th volume titled The Epics Imagined, dealing with the images associated with the Mahabharata and Ramayana, reach scholars and art lovers alike and deepen their understanding of Ravi Varma's genius. I would like to invite your attention to page number, I don't know, I have to go through, but anyway, one special painting is there in the book. On this page, there is a marvelous painting by Raja Ravi Varma. It portrays an episode from the Mahabharata, that of Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati in the form of hunter and huntress. That is Kirata or jungle folk. This concept, this idol, we have a temple inside Kilimanur Palace. And we are doing the daily pujas also, this Kirata concept. In the Mahabharata, we read about Lord Shiva granting Pashupastra to Arjuna. Discussed as a hunter, he humbles Arjuna's pride through a test before granting him the divine weapon. Maybe everybody knows about the story. This is a context of the painting. Now let me sing a beautiful sloga about this painting. You know, Ravi Varma is not only a painter, a chitrakar, but he is a Sakalagala Vallabhan. He is a scholar, great scholar. He knows the Puranas, the Vedas, Upanishads, the Mahabharata, Ramayana, Kalidasa, Shakuntal and all. There are so many. He is very known about all these our epics, no. He wrote so many poems also. When he traveling, he will write something, no. But we lost most of them. But we got 3-4 poems written by the great artist Raja Ravi Varma. And in this contest, Ravi Varma written a shloka that Ravi Varma asked Goddess Parvati, discussed as Kirati, if he has picturized her correctly without customary costumes and embellishments. That is what he written in that poem. The shloka written by Ravi Varma and composed by me goes like this. I'll sing, it's a tribute to the great artist Ravi Varma. It's a few lines of the shloka. Thank you. Sagama മുക്താവിദ്രുമമാലകൾക്കു പകരം ഗുഞ്ചാവലി പീലിയാണുത്തംസം കരകങ്കണങ്ങൾ മുഴുവൻ. മുക്താവിദ്രുമമാലകൾക്കു പകരം ഗുഞ്ചാവലി പീലിയാണുത്തംസം കരകങ്കണങ്ങൾ മുഴുവൻ. ശങ്കാനഹോ കേവലം പുത്തൻ പട്ടിന് നല്ല പല്ലവ ഗുണം. കൈറാതിയായി തീരുവാനൊത്തോ ശൈലസുതക്കിതൊക്കെ അറിവാൻ എൻ കണ്ണിനത്യാഗ്രഹം. എൻ കണ്ണിനത്യാഗ്രഹം. എൻ കണ്ണിനത്യാഗ്രഹം. ര
Wonderful rendition and a tribute to the great man. Finally, we come to the author himself, Ganesh Shivaswamy. He is the author of the 6-volume book series, Raja Ravi Varma, An Everlasting Imprint, the 4th volume of which has just been released. He is a 5th generation lawyer from Bengaluru. His grandfather, Justice Somnath Iyer, was the Chief Justice of the High Court of Karnataka and the acting governor of the state too. He is also an adjunct professor of the National Institute of Advanced Studies, School of Humanities, Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. I request you to come and speak about the book.
Overwhelming, I think, is where I should begin. Your Highness Pramada Deviji, the office bearers of His Highness Shri Srikantadatta Narasimharaja Wadiyar Foundation, Rama Varma ji, Ashwath, my wife Hema, Shreya, a very dear friend Zaver, who's come for all of the work which I've done. I wish to acknowledge also the presence of Subramanian ji, who has received the Padma Shri for his services in archaeology, and of course to the musicians who will follow us in melody, Vidushri Smruthi Bhaskar, Vidwan Keshav Mohankumar, Vidwan Vinay Nagarajan, Vidwan Shamith Gowda, and Vidwan Aditya Bhaskar. And to all of you who have assembled here, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening and warm welcome. I was actually wondering where to begin because it is an event of a lot of gravity. So I decided, let me go back to the time where we are today, which once had none other than Mummadi Krishna Raja Wadiyar walk the grounds. Among many parts of the palace, it is said that this is one of the older parts of the palace, and therefore we are on hallowed ground. There's something very unique about Mummadi Krishna Raja Wadiyar. Many Maharajas of Mysore emulate the same example. But something special about Mummadi Krishna Raja Wadiyar for me is the authorship of the Sri Tattva Nidhi of 9 volumes. Among many things which he's done, he's written on yoga, he's written on so many other things. The Sri Tattva Nidhi 9 volumes on Hindu iconography, games, music, etc. is something which I really wish to emulate. Almost makes me feel a little jealous that I stopped at 6. Wish I had pushed it to 9, but it is a very, very heavy contribution to culture among so many other things. This is one reason I think I have great admiration for him. But there's another reason. The other reason is many of us, as Mr. Wesley just said, in a small way, me too. Sometimes we are required to carry on the burden of pedigree and legacy. We have no option. So was the Maharaja. He had to carry on a duty. I'm also, in a smaller way, 5th generation lawyer. I know where it comes from. We hardly have a choice in the matter. There are many things in life where we really do not have a choice in the matter. We just have to do it. And he did it. But then, his soul speaks. He says, I wish to do something else. And he takes the time. It is very difficult to do it. He takes the time and he goes on to create the Sri Tattva Nidhi. He goes on to do so many other things. Performances here. All of this is done. I always say, it is fair enough for you to work for somebody else, but it is also important to work for yourself. Your soul must also be fed in the process. And that is what he did. Among other Maharajas also did the same thing. They carried on their duty and they carried on their passion with equal aplomb and dexterity. And to navigate between the two fluidly is what I think we call balance in life. And he did it exceptionally well. And for Her Highness to make such a venue available to all of us really requires my sincere gratitude. So it is to Her Highness that I begin by saying thank you. In law we say principal and agent are equally irresponsible. Therefore, Her Highness as agent of Mummadi Krishna Raja Wadiyar's lineage, thank you so much for making this available to us. 2018 I started writing this book series. And very briefly, I had sort of come out of an eclipse which lasted 3 years in Ravi Varma. There was an attempt at an exile. I want to come back to the word exile at the end. I just become a father at the same time. So I said, there's an urge in me to write this book on Ravi Varma. And the first person I go up to ask is Hema. I said, Hema, do you think I should write this book? She says, go for it. I will give you that space. You go for it. You do it. I know how much you are in this. Go for it. A whole set of friends also come together. Zaver comes, Bhavik comes, Kushal comes, and a whole lot of people come together and then say, Ganesh, go for it. It takes a shell to protect an egg. Very important. Somebody has to protect it. And that I find in Hema, Shreya and my friends who are all here today. So to them, thank you. One of the first places I visit in the process of writing the book is Kilimanjaro. I go there and I visit the place because it's a huge archive. It's a very, very large archive. I'm sitting on the floor of Chitrashala. Beautiful black floor. For all of you all who go to Kilimanjaro, it will emit the same vibration of calmness which you're getting here. Same thing you will find there. It's a beautiful, very calm space. Go there, sit in the Chitrashala, you will center, you will compose, you will calm. That is the kind of place. No wonder Ravi Varma painted such beautiful works from there. The best of his soul comes out. I go there. Over a period of over 25 days, in various sessions, I'm in Kilimanjaro sitting on the floor with the Xerox machine, scanning. And throughout that time, all I encountered was a sea of smiling faces. No one frowned, no one even questioned, who is this boy who's over here scanning away some old photographs? No. I would eat at the Utupura with Ram Varma ji, and at 4 o'clock in the evening, Ram Varma ji would bring me a flask of coffee. He'd say, Ganesh ji, you've done all of this, come have some coffee. Sit on the steps of Kilimanjaro and we too would drink coffee. Very cherished memories. So, Kilimanjaro, thank you. Once this project begins, what starts as a trickle ends in flood. Lot of custodians start coming together. Their Highnesses of Baroda, their Highnesses of Travancore, the Mysore royal family, so many collectors, so many custodians, auction houses, even the keeper of the Queen's pictures in those days when Queen Elizabeth II was alive. All of these people are coming together and then they are saying, yes, you want the pictures, we will give it to you. It's a very surreal experience now that I think about it. Why did they support the project? Nobody knows. They all come together and then the manuscript is ready. 2,70,000 words and 2,100 pictures shortlisted. It's on my computer. And then I run into a major obstacle. No publishers ready to publish it. They come up to 2 volumes. They say, we will come up to 2 volumes. This is the maximum which we could do. As Her Highness mentioned, I am persuasive. I wasn't ready to let it go. Because I knew I would never come back to this again. So I said, all or nothing, which seems to be the moral of my life. I said, I will do it all or I will do nothing at all. And I decided to do nothing. So there is a moment in this where the book project actually dropped. I said, I'm in Chennai. She says, Ganesh, you come over for lunch. I go for lunch. She says, what happened to the book project? I said, hey Sharon, forget about it. I've decided to drop the project. She says, why? I will fund the project. This project has to happen. So Sharon, thank you. She puts me in touch with 2 people. Gayatri Sinha of the Critical Collective and Ashwath of Volo Designs. And she said, Ashwath will do the design for you and Gayatri Sinha, who's a very senior academician, art academician, she will edit the book series through Critical Collective. I was very skeptical. I said, Gayatri Sinha, such a senior art academician. Why will she involve herself in this project? She says, no, just give her a call. Let's see what happens. So I got into a call with Gayatri. And then the call didn't last very long, maybe about 45 minutes. She says, why do we have to relook at Ravi Varma today? I told her why, which is what I will tell you all in a bit also. She says, what's the stage? I said, manuscript is ready. She says, really? How many words? 2,70,000 words. She says, sir, send me a chapter which you have already completed. I sent her the Shakuntala chapter, which comes in volume 5. 45 minutes later, she calls back. She says, where was all this information? I said, under our very nose. No one had seen it, or maybe people have seen it, but no one has actually put it together. She says, Ganesh, you're mentioning so many pictures, etc. Send me a few pictures. I really want to see whether the narrative correlates. So I sent her the pictures and she says, my God, I never knew this was there. We are on. Ashwath also comes on board. And I must tell you, Ashwath has been very supportive of it, putting through all of my persuasions. So finally what happens? It lands into 6 volumes of 2142 pages. The 6 volumes at a glance. The first volume is subtitled The Shaping of an Artist, and it looks at the biography of Ravi Varma, and it looks at all of the elements which go into the making of the picture. Why? Because my narrative is substantially different from the previous narratives. In the previous narratives, the painter is the protagonist. In my narrative, the picture is the protagonist, because it is a picture with which we are correlating or relating today. None of us have seen the artist. Artist died in 1906, and I assure you I am not that old. So, we're all seeing only the picture. It's a picture with which we are interacting, debating, having dialogues. So for me, the picture is the protagonist. Volume 2, subtitled A Resonant Impression, looks at how the picture was propelled from the painter to the public, largely via the agency of the Ravi Varma press. And the second chapter of volume 2 is a very analytical one. People have asked me, Ganesh, is it very hagiographical? I said, no. It's also critical and analytical of the legacy. So there are multiple things where even I question the legacy of Raja Ravi Varma. Did it get it right? Did it get it wrong? And there are multiple places where I have just left it as questions. Because who am I to answer? Let's ask the questions. Let us see. It's a continuing narrative. Volume 3, subtitled A Divine Omnipresence, looks at images associated with worship, your Lakshmis and Saraswatis. These are things you would keep in the puja room, you would pray to, etc. Volume 4, The Epics Imagined, which has just been launched, looks at the images of the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the largest volume in the entire series, 386 pages. So it's the largest of the 6-volume series. Volume 5, Krishna Leela Nataka, looks at the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Gita Govinda, and the multiple plays. It's not just Kalidasa, we are looking at Ratnavali, we are looking at multiple plays of Kalidasa, we are looking at Malavikagni with Mitra, Vikram or Vashim, a lot of them come in over there. Ravi Varma did paint all of these pictures too. The last one is Power and Enchantment, which looks at images of Maharajas, etc., people of power, including the British, because they were very much a presence at that given point in time. And enchantment, the allure of the feminine image. So this is how I have split the entire work of Raja Ravi Varma. As I went about launching the books, the first volume was launched by Their Highnesses Shubhangini Rajaji, the Rajmataji of Baroda, and Radhika Rajaji in the Lakshmi Vilas Palace in Baroda. Volume 2, because the Ravi Varma press started in Bombay, we did it in Bombay with Dr. Feroza Godrej. Volume 3, by Their Highnesses Princess Gauri Parvati Bai and Gauri Lakshmi Bai. This was at the Levy Hall, which is within the Padmanabha Swami Temple Trust precinct. And 4, Chandrashale Toti. As I went about launching these volumes, what emerged to me that there is a sort of subliminal philosophy to each of them, which you'll have to read and you'll have to step back and understand the overview of the volume. So that is something at every book launch, I have found that there's a sort of a philosophy to each of these volumes. It was never intentional, it sort of emerged as it and evolved as it went along. The first volume, as I said, Shaping of the Artist, looks at how Ravi Varma composes the picture. What are all the elements which he takes in, composes the picture. And what you will realize when you read volume 1 is that he was taking already existing visual elements, performative elements. He was taking from Kathakali. He was taking from European images. He was taking from photography. He was taking from inspirations from theatre. So all of this comes together. He re-envisions and recomposes it and gives us a Ravi Varma picture. The philosophy of that volume is that all of us are a part of an eternal continuum. It's not abrupt. It's flowing. It keeps on moving. The image keeps on evolving and it will continue to evolve. People are going to keep reinventing it. A lot of people ask me, oh, they're making memes out of it. They're making calendars out of it. What do you... It is the evolution of the image. Nothing wrong in the evolution. You like it, like it. You don't like it, it's okay, you can leave it. But let the conversation continue. And participate in the eternal continuum, not only of the image, but possibly our lives too. We are who we are because of what has happened to us and what has made us. And this will continue on. The philosophy of being part of an eternal continuum is what you will notice in the first volume. The second volume looks at as I said, how the image goes into the public realm, into the public vision. The power of democracy is the philosophy of that volume. William Morris, way back in the 19th century, he says, I do not want art for a few, just as I do not want education for a few. That particular century witnessed democracies in so many ways. The monarchies gave way to democracies, not just in India, but across the world. We had distributive legislations which distributed wealth. We had right to education. The temples opened through the temple entry proclamation of Chitratarana Maharaja of Travancore in 1930s. Now we have right to information. So the question you have to ask is this. If power, if wealth, if religion, if education, if information is all going from few to many, few to many, few to many, how could art not have followed suit? There comes a tide in the affairs of men which when taken at flood leads on to fortune, Shakespeare. Who surfed that tide of the democracy of art? Ravi Varma. Hardly anyone does it. But here I want to mention something else, which is again comes back to Chandrashale Toti. Lithography had started in India in 1821. The first royal family to adopt lithography was Mummadi Krishnaraja Wadiyar, who has established the Mysuru Mudrakshara Shala here. He participated in the democracy of art through printing much before the Ravi Varma press was even established. That has to be credited. The second volume also looks at another aspect, the creation of museums. If you do not create a museum, where do you get to see the grand pictures? So it starts with Mummadi and it also looks at what His Highness Jayachamaraja Wadiyar did in the 1950s through the establishment of the Jayachamaraja Art Gallery Trust, which is the Jagan Mohan Palace. So while Mr. Wesley says there's a direct association of two Maharajas with Ravi Varma, I argue that there is an association of four Maharajas with the entire legacy associated with the democracy of art. And that is important for us because here Mysore is also participating in the democracy of art. It's very important. Democracy for us today has become something which we should not only cherish but certainly protect. That is the philosophy of volume 2. The third volume, the Divine Omnipresence, looks at religious images which are used for worship. And the beauty of that volume is it will not only show you the painting of Lakshmi, but it will also show you how people have taken this image and made it their own. Pushpamala makes photographic recreations of it. Hindu Punch is making satire out of it and making political statements out of it. All of this is happening in volume 3. The power of the religious image In it going all the way down to the auto rickshaw, even today the auto rickshaw man has a little plastic in front of it. The Lakshmi came from the Ravi Varma mold. That is the degree of percolation of democracy of the arts which Ravi Varma has done. I doubt it has happened anywhere else in the world that an auto rickshaw driver identifies that picture. The intensity of the democracy of religion is something which we should all understand properly. I was speaking at Parul University about a year and a half ago. It had, because there's a lawyer who's written on art, it had both faculty of fine arts students and faculty of law students. Hall was full. The question was asked, "Sir, do we remove religion from our society? It's not secular." I said, no. I said, understand religion. And when I talk about religion, I'm not talking about a religion. I'm talking about religions in general. So, divine omnipresence as secular legislation is the philosophy of volume 3. Now we come to the 4th volume, the Epics Imagined, which we just have released, which deals with the images associated of the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. So I wish to highlight a few of the aspects of volume 4 before I end with the philosophy of volume 4. The first is Draupadi. Why am I starting with Draupadi? Because it's special to the Mysore collection. For those of you who go to the Jagan Mohan Palace, you will see Ravi Varma's first attempt at Draupadi, which is Draupadi and the Enchantress Simhika. It's just titled Draupadi. That is Ravi Varma's first Draupadi. Ravi Varma's first Sita is in the Gandhi Hall in Baroda. Ravi Varma's first Draupadi is here, Jagan Mohan Palace. Interestingly, Ravi Varma's last Draupadi is also here, Sairandri, 1906. So the Mysore collection for Draupadi is very special. You have the first Draupadi and the last Draupadi. And they interestingly placed next to each other on a corner. You go to the Jagan Mohan Palace and you'll see. You start with the first, you go around, you'll come to the last. But there's something very beautiful. Most of the people will walk past that first Draupadi, Draupadi in the Enchantress Simhika. Most of you all will not know it is not from the Mahabharata at all. Because Simhika is not a character from the Mahabharata. She is a character from a Kathakali play called Kirimeeravadam, written by Kottayam Thamburan. And Ravi Varma lifts a particular episode from the Kathakali play and he makes that painting. I've seen the Kathakali play. It is available on YouTube. And I was like, I am able to see that particular pose. But why should the others not see it? So for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, we've added QR codes to the volume. So you can scan it, see the dance and look at the painting. That is found in volume 4. This is one of the special things of volume 4. The other is there's a lot of distinction between fact and fiction, which also is clarified now. A lot of people wonder, there's a lot of myth associated with who posed for Ravana in Jatayuvadam. They will say that there was a very sort of gym cut fellow who was in Kilimanor and he was asked to pose. No, it didn't happen. And this is the story which has been going on and has gone down legend. Even recently it has been. But in volume 4, you will actually see how Ravi Varma, who had difficulty with foreshortening. Foreshortening is where the body appears to look forward. Ravi Varma had difficulty with it. So what he did is he took a European illustration, drew a grid, and he took that exact pose and made it into Ravana. So now that is also clarified in volume 4. Another beautiful thing in volume 4 for the first time is the person who posed for Rama. He's a young boy, hit the gym and he's standing like this, and for the first time it gets published. He is the boy who posed for Rama in the Rama series which you find over here. And the 2-3 people who have seen that particular image, one of whom is in the audience and I will not mention, every time they look at a gym cut Rama, they will say, this body is mine. Like the Sita is somebody's ancestor because a beautiful Sita. This body is mine. All the gym cut boys have been saying, Rama's body is like mine. Go for it. Another very, very interesting aspect in volume 4 is that there were people who picked up the image and moved it ahead, and one of them was Sardar. For the first time you will see photographs of Sardar posing for Hanuman. He was a great Hanuman Bhakt. So he hit the gym, built his body, photographed himself. In one of them he's holding a brick like this, and that goes on to become the Hanuman where you will see the Sanjeevani mountain. Wonderful images of what happens behind the scenes. But what is interesting is that this great devotee of Hanuman was a Muslim. So the argument is made in the book, does devotion transcend religion? Think about it. The other thing is who posed for Damayanti. The famous Hamsa Damayanti, which you will see, it is in Sri Chitra Art Gallery, it's right in the center. There was a reason why I put Damayanti right in the center. The minute you enter, you will see Damayanti. It's an 1899 work by Raja Ravi Varma. And I have to tell you a story. Let's come to the story and then tell you who posed for it. As I mentioned, I had gone to Kilimanur on multiple occasions and I had thought I had finished scanning everything. Packed up the scanner, I had a flight in the evening. And I was going down, Ram Varmaji is escorting me, and then suddenly for some strange reason I said, Ram Varmaji, where is the box? He said, what box? I said, there's some box. Both startled. I also actually today don't know why I asked the question, but there was a box. He says, Ganesh ji, come, I'll show you. Goes into the depths of the palace. And there, when we open the box, the lid breaks, if you remember. And there were hordes of photographs of people posing, the girl posing for Ahalya, the girl posing for Mohini, and then a whole stack of glass plate negatives. Fortunately, my scanner, it had a glass plate negative scanner. So I was very curious. I held up each one of them, and one of them had somebody posing for Damayanti. You couldn't make out it small. So I put it onto my scanner, and then it starts coming on the computer screen. And I was shocked to see who posed for Damayanti. And for the first time it comes in volume 4. It was none other than Raja Ravi Varma wearing the sari. He wears the sari, the Navwari style, Marathi style sari. He wears it, he pulls up his kurta sleeves and he poses. It gets photographed, he uses it as a reference image, and there you have Damayanti. So finally, when I did the curation of Sri Chitra Art Gallery, I already knew the backstory. So I put it right in the center. So today when you go to, you are seeing him first. It's his technically self-portrait. It was so much of serendipity because what had happened is much later in 1971, when the postage department decided to make a stamp, they put a portrait of Ravi Varma and the Damayanti, and I'm like, it's a self-portrait within a self-portrait. That you will come to know only now. What this does is it also questions notions of gender stereotypes, especially in the art space. A man posing as a woman is a sort of an notional, I'm very careful about this, notional aberration of notional gender stereotypes. Art transcends gender. Art embraces all kinds of sexuality. And that is what you will also see in volume 4. Now coming to the philosophy of volume 4. The Ramayana and the Mahabharata has something in common, and that is the Vanavasa. Large sections of the narrative only deal with the forest dwelling. And how does the Vanavasa invariably start? It starts with exile. And it's a very interesting thing because most of your narrative is the exile only. The Vanaparva is so huge, and even in the Ramayana, most of it is what happens in the forest, how she gets abducted, and finally when the Pattabhishekam and the Yuddhakandam is done, it almost ends abruptly. It almost warrants the requirement of a Uttarakandam after that. Here, I always think about effort and result. And I think about the dynamic between faith and destiny. And somehow I'm constantly reflecting about a poem by what is his name? It goes, a Brahma designs, a Vishnu sustains, T.P. Kailasam. A Brahma designs, a Vishnu sustains, a cinder-crimed Shiva doth slay. The dramatist deigns, if Durga ordains, the Trinity's play to display. A Brahma designs, a Vishnu sustains, a cinder-crimed Shiva, he slays. But the dramatist will deign only if Durga ordains the Trinity's play. The grand hand of destiny. Beyond all of us, beyond faith also, according to me. So for all of us who are going through difficulties, the moral of volume 4 is go through the challenges, because finally even the exiled returns to epic fame. And on that note, good cheer to all of you all. Thank you so much for being here.
All I can say is brilliant exposition of not only your works, but of all that Raja Ravi Varma achieved. I think we come to the end of the first part of our program, so we'll have to go down and make way for the musicians who will be presenting a recital soon.
Early days, this was a place of residence of Maharani Mallikamba Devi Avaru, the 8th wife of Maharaja Krishnaraj Wadiyar III. She was better known as Chandrashala Mallikamba Devi Avaru. Mallikamba Devi had no children of her own, and her legacy became entwined with the quiet dignity of this space. As the crown passed on to his adopted son Maharaja Chamraja Wadiyar X, the energy of these rooms shifted from the private to the performing arts. In 1880, the Chamarajendra Nataka Sabha was born right here. Imagine the scene. Every evening between 6 and 8 p.m., the air was thick with excitement of rehearsals as actors prepared dramas that would tour all of Mysore. By the autumn of 1916, the atmosphere grew even richer. On the 5th of November, a Sunday, the palace music classes began their journey here. For a brief moment in time, the sounds of the theatre merged with the melodies of the music school, creating a unique cultural symphony. Though the music school eventually moved to the Gajashala, its roots remained here, nurturing the legendary talents like the senior advocate C. Narasimharaja and the renowned artist K. Venkatappa. The curtains finally closed on the Nataka Sabha in 1917, but the story doesn't end with music and theatre. Maharaja Krishnaraj Wadiyar IV found a new and more peaceful purpose for this space. Under the guidance of his legendary guru Krishnamacharya, the Maharaja transformed this area into a yogashala. It remained a sanctuary for physical and spiritual discipline until the yoga school moved to the Samskrita Patashala in the year 1930. From a royal residence to a bustling theatre, a melodic music school, and finally a silent yoga hall, this Chandrashala Totti has worn many hats. Even up until the late 1970s, it continued to serve the community in various ways. Today, as we gather here, we aren't just in a building, we are part of a 225-year-old legacy of art, culture, and spirit. Thank you.
ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಮಹಾರಾಣಿಯವರಾದ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಪ್ರಮೋದಾದೇವಿ ಅಮ್ಮ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಣಾಮಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ we want to congratulate Shri Ganesh Shivaswamy sir for the book launch of his 4th volume of his series, and I was fortunate enough to have collaborated with the Ganesh Shivaswamy Foundation a few months ago for one of my Dasara series called Mayamma, where I had an opportunity to interpret a few of the paintings of volume 3 through Muthuswami Dikshit's compositions. ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ವಿಷಯ ನಾನು ಹಂಚ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ. I don't know if the legends met Ravi Varma and Muthuswami Dikshit, but their works speak a lot of similar words. I had chosen a couple of paintings. ಒಂದು ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಒಂದು ದೀಕ್ಷಿತರ ಕೃತಿನ ಜ್ಞಾಪಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಇದೇ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ ನೋಡಿ ಈ ಕೃತಿನ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೇನೋ ಅಥವಾ ಈ ಕೃತಿನ ಕೇಳಿ ಇವರು ಈ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೇನೋ ಅನ್ನೋಷ್ಟು ಸಿಮಿಲಾರಿಟೀಸ್ ಕಂಡಿದ್ದು. ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಫೆಲ್ಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಒಂದು ಕಲಾ ಎನಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ಟ್, ಇಟ್ ಮೈಟ್ ಬಿ ಸಂಗೀತ ಅಥವಾ ಡ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್, no matter how much separated these artists are with respect to the boundaries or regions or anything or period of time, ಈ ರೀತಿ ನಾನು ಈ ಆರ್ಟಿಸ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಮೂಲಕ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅದೇ ಥರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದ ಡೆಸ್ಟಿನಿ ದಟ್ ದಿ ಆರ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಚೋಸ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದೀಸ್ ಲೆಜೆಂಡರೀಸ್ ಟು ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟಿವ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಮೆಸ್ಮರೈಸ್ಡ್ ಮೀ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇವತ್ತು ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ದಿನ 220ಕ್ಕೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ವರ್ಷ ಕಳೆದಿರುವಂಥ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಭಾಂಗಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಡುವಂಥ ಅವಕಾಶ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರೋದು ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಪುಣ್ಯ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಭಾವಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಮುಮ್ಮಡಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣರಾಜ ಒಡೆಯರ್ ಅವರು ಕಚೇರಿಗಳನ್ನು ನಡೆಸ್ತಿದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಜಾಗ ಇದು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹಲವಾರು ದಿಗ್ಗಜರು, ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಂಗೀತಗಾರರು ಓಡಾಡಿದಂಥ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ನಾದ ಸಮರ್ಪಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ವೆರಿ ಬ್ಲೆಸ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಯು ಡಿಗ್ನಿಟರೀಸ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಐ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮೈ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ವೆರಿ ಬ್ಲೆಸ್ಡ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸರ್ಟ್. ಮೊದಲನೇ ಕೃತಿ ನಾನು ಹಾಡಿದ್ದು ದಶರಥನಂದನ ಮೈಸೂರು ವಾಸುದೇವಾಚಾರ್ ಅವರ ರಚನೆ. ನಂತರ ಮುತ್ತಯ್ಯ ಭಾಗವತರವರ ಒಂದು ರಚನೆಯನ್ನು ನಾನು ಹಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ನೋಟ್, ಶಂಕರಾಭರಣ ರಾಗದ್ದು. ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ 4ನ ರಾಮ ವನವಾಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ರಾಮ ಇನ್ ಎಕ್ಸೈಲ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ನ ನಾನು ನೋಡಿದೆ. ಆ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಏನು ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಅಯೋಧ್ಯೆಯನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ರಾಮ ಸೀತೆ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಣ ಕಾಡಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಆಘಾತಗಳು ನಡೆದಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನಮಗೆಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತು. ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಪ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡೌನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದೇರ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೋ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್. ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಎದುರಿಸಿ ಅವರು ಕಾಡಿಗೆ ಹೋಗೋಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೊರಟು ಕಾಡಿಗೆ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆದಾಗ ಗುಹಾ ಸಿಗ್ತಾನೆ. ನಮಗೆಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಗುಹಾ ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತು. ಆ ಗುಹಾ ರಾಮ ಸೀತೆ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಣನ ಕೂರಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ಶಾಂತವಾದ ನದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ತೇಲ್ಕೊಂಡು ರಾಮನ ಮಾತಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋವಂಥ ಒಂದು ದೃಶ್ಯನ ನಾನು ನೋಡಿದೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಐ ಥಾಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸಾಂಗ್ ಕೇಮ್ ಇನ್ ಮೈ ಮೈಂಡ್. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಆಲ್ ದಟ್ ಖೇಯಾಸ್ ದೇ ಆಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಫೇಸ್ಡ್ ಎಟ್ ಅಯೋಧ್ಯ, ದೇ ಎಂಡೆಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಸೇಲಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಪೀಸ್ಫುಲ್ ರಿವರ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿಸ್ ಗುಹಾ. ಇವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ದುಃಖ ಆಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಗುಹನ್ಗೆ ಖುಷಿ, ರಾಮ ಸೀತೆನ ನೋಡಿದೆ, ನಾನು ದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಗುಹಾ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ರಾಮಂಗೆ, ಇಡೀ ಜಗತ್ತಿನ ಭವಸಾಗರ ದಾಟಿಸುವಂಥ ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ಇವತ್ತು ನಾನು ನದಿ ದಾಟಿಸುವಂಥ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಇದೆಷ್ಟು ವಿಪರ್ಯಾಸ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ಅವನು ಹಂಚ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಹೀ ಈಸ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಟು ರಾಮ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೀತಾ ಈಸ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಹರ್ ಥಾಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಆಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಣ ಈಸ್ ಸೋ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲಿ ವಾಚಿಂಗ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್, ಯಾರು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಯಾರು ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಈ ಒಂದು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ನೋಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋಂಥದ್ದು ಬಹಳ ವಿಶೇಷವಾದ ರಚನೆ. ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್ಕಿಂದ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸ್ ಆದಂಥ ಮುತ್ತಯ್ಯ ಭಾಗವತರು ಇದನ್ನು ರಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮೂಲ ರಾಗ ಶಂಕರಾಭರಣ, ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸ್ವರಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಬಂದು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ. So here we present English note. Gama mariga pariga sa, Gama mariga pariga sa, Gama mariga pariga sa, Ni sa ni da ni re sa ta pa, sa Gama mariga pariga sa, Ni sa ni da ni re sa ta pa, sa sa Gama mariga pariga sa, Ni sa ni da ni re sa ta pa, pa ma ga pa sa ni da ga ma da pa ga, sa ga pa da pa ma ga ri sa ri ga, pa ma ga pa sa ni da ga ma da pa ga, sa ga pa da pa ma ga ri da ni sa, ga ga ma ma ri ga pa pa ri ri ga ga sa, ni sa ni da ni re sa da pa pa ma ga pa sa ni da ga ma da pa ga, sa ga pa da pa ma ga ri sa ri ga, pa ma ga pa sa ni da ga ma da pa ga, sa ga pa da pa ma ga ri da ni sa, ga ri ga ma ga pa ma pa ri 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 ga ri sa ni da pa. Ri ga ma ga pa ma pa ri 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 ga ri sa ni da pa, ga ri ga da pa pa ma ga, da ni sa ri ga ti sa 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 ga ma pa 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 ta da pa ma ri, ni sa ri ga ma 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 ga ma pa ga sa ga, ga ma pa 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 da pa ma ri, ni sa ri ga ma 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 pa ga sa ga, sa 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 ga pa pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga ri sa sa, sa ni sa ri sa ni ni pa ni da ni sa ga ma ma. Pa sa ni sa re sa ni ni pa ni da ni sa da ma ma, pa sa ni ga ri ri sa sa ni da pa ma ta pa ma 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 ma, ma 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 ga ma pa 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 pa, ri sa pa 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 pa, ri sa sa ni 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 da pa pa ma 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 ga ga pa 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 pa, ri sa pa 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 pa, ri sa sa ni 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 da pa pa ma 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 ga ga pa pa, ga ri sa pa 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 pa, ga ri sa sa ni 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 da pa pa ma 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 ga ga pa pa, ga ri sa ni sa ri ga ma da ni sa da pa ma sa, ga ga ma ma ri ga pa pa ri ri ga ga sa, ni sa ni da ni re sa da pa, ga ga ma ma ri ga pa pa ri ri ga ga sa, ni ni sa ni da ni re sa da pa, pa ma ga pa sa ni da ga ma da pa ga, sa ga pa da pa ma ga ri sa ri ga, pa ma ga pa sa ni da ga ma da pa ga, sa ga pa da pa ma ga ri da ni ಮುಂದೆ ಹಾಡ್ತಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಮಹಾರಾಜ ಜಯಚಾಮರಾಜೇಂದ್ರ ಒಡೆಯರವರ ಒಂದು ಕೃತಿ ಮಾಂಡ್ ರಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾಂಡ ವಲಯೆ. ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾಂಡ ವಲಯೇ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾಂಡ ವಲಯೇ ಮಾಯೇ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾಂಡ ವಲಯೇ ಮಾಯೇ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾಂಡ ವಲಯೇ ಮಾಯೇ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾದಿ ವಂದಿತ ಶಿವ ಜಯ 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 ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾಂಡ ವಲಯೇ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವಿದ್ಯಾನಂದಿತ ಹೃದಯೇ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವಿದ್ಯಾನಂದಿತ ಹೃದಯೇ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವಿದ್ಯಾನಂದಿತ ಹೃದಯೇ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವಿದ್ಯಾನಂದಿತ ಹೃದಯೇ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಶಕ್ತ್ಯುಪಾಸಿತ ಶ್ರೀವಿದ್ಯೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಶಕ್ತ್ಯುಪಾಸಿತ ಶ್ರೀವಿದ್ಯೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮರಂಧ್ರ ನಿಲಯೇ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಶಕ್ತ್ಯುಪಾಸಿತ ಶ್ರೀವಿದ್ಯೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮರಂಧ್ರ ನಿಲಯೇ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾಂಡ ವಲಯೇ ಮಾಯೇ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾದಿ ವಂದಿತ ಶಿವ ಜಯೇ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾಂಡ ವಲಯೇ. ಗೌತಮಾರ್ಚಿತ ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ ಗೌರಿ ಗಿರಿರಾಜೇಂದ್ರ ಪೂಜೆ ಗೌತಮಾರ್ಚಿತ ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ ಗೌರಿ ಗಿರಿರಾಜೇಂದ್ರ ಪುತ್ರಿ ಕಾಂತರಾಗಿಣಿ ನಾರಾಯಣಿ ಕಾರುಣ್ಯಲಲಿತೆ ಕಾಂತರಾಗಿಣಿ ನಾರಾಯಣಿ ಕಾರುಣ್ಯಲಲಿತೆ ಮಂಜುಳವಣಿ ಕಾಂತರಾಗಿಣಿ ನಾರಾಯಣಿ ಕಾರುಣ್ಯಲಲಿತೆ ಮಂಜುಳವಣಿ ಅಂತರ್ಮುಖ ಜ್ಯೋತಿರ್ಮಯ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣಿ ಅಂತರ್ಮುಖ ಜ್ಯೋತಿರ್ಮಯ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣಿ ಅಹಿನಿ ಭವೇಣಿ ಅಂತರ್ಮುಖ ಜ್ಯೋತಿರ್ಮಯ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣಿ ಅಹಿನಿ ಭವೇಣಿ ಪುರಾಣಿ ಅಂತರ್ಮುಖ ಜ್ಯೋತಿರ್ಮಯ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣಿ ಅಹಿನಿ ಭವೇಣಿ ಪುರಾಣಿ ಅಂತರಹಿತ ಕೈವಲ್ಯ ವಿಹಾರಿಣಿ ಗತಿ ನಿರ್ಜಿತ ಕರಣಿ ಅಂತರ್ಮುಖ ಜ್ಯೋತಿರ್ಮಯ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣಿ ಅಹಿನಿ ಭವೇಣಿ ಪುರಾಣಿ ಅಂತರಹಿತ ಕೈವಲ್ಯ ವಿಹಾರಿಣಿ ಗತಿ ನಿರ್ಜಿತ ಕರಣಿ ಗೀರ್ವಾಣಿ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾಂಡ ವಲಯೇ ಮಾಯೇ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾದಿ ವಂದಿತ ಶಿವ ಜಯೇ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾಂಡ ವಲಯೇ. गगनाधिप सत्कुलजा गगनाधिप सत्कुलजा गगनाधिप सत्कुलजा गगनाधिप सत्कुलजा राजराजेश्वरा गगनाधिप सत्कुलजा राजराजेश्वरा सुगुणाकर सुरसेव्य भव्यदायक सुगुणाकर सुरसेव्य भव्यदायक सदा सकल सुगुणाकर सुरसेव्य भव्यदायक सदा सकल जगदानन्द कारक जय जानकी प्राणनायक अमरतारकनिजय कुमुदहित परिपूर्ण अमरतारकनिजय कुमुदहित परिपूर्ण नगसुरसुरभूजदधि पयोधिवासहरण सुन्दरतरवदन सुधामय वचो बृन्द गोविन्द सानन्दम पराचराप्त शुभकर अनेक जगदानन्द निगमनीरजामृत जपोषक निमिष भैरवारिध समीरण कगतुरङ्ग सत्कविहृदालया गणितवानराधिपनताङ्ग्रियुग जगदानन्द कारक इन्द्रनीलमणि सन्निभापगन चन्द्र सूर्यनयना प्रमेय इन्द्रनीलमणि सन्निभापगन नयना प्रमेय इन्द्रनीलमणि सन्निभापगन चन्द्र सूर्यनयना प्रमेय इन्द्रनीलमणि सन्निभापगन चन्द्र सूर्यनयना प्रमेय वागीन्द्र जनक सकलेश शुभ्र नागेन्द्र शयन शमन वैरि सन्मुख जगदानन्द पादविजित मौनिशाप सव परिपालवर मंत्र ग्रहणलो परम शांत चित्त जनक जाधिप सरोज भववरद अखिल जगदानंद कारक सृष्टिस्थित्यन्तकार कामित कामित फलद समान गात्र शचीपतिनुताब्धिमद हर अनुराग राग राजित गत सारहित जगदानन्द कारक सज्जन मानसापि सुधाकर कुसुम विमान सुरस रिपुकराब्जलालित चरणावगुण सुरगण मदहरण सनातन जनुत जगदानन्द कारक ओंकार पंजर कीर पुरहर सरोज भव केशव ओंकार पंजर कीर पुरहर सरोज भव केशवादिरूप वासवरि पूजन कांतक कलाधर कलाधराप्त घृणाकर शरणागत जनपालन सुमनो रमण निर्विकार निगम सारधर जगदानन्द कारक करधृत शरजाला सुरमदापहरणावनी सुरसुर वनकवीन विलज मौनि कृत चरित्र सन्नुत श्रीत्यागराजनुत पुराण पुरुष नृवरात्मजाश्रित पराधीन कर विराध रावण विरावणानग पराशर मनो हर विकृत त्यागराज सन्नुत जगदानन्द कारक अगणित गुण कनक चेल साल विदलन रुणाभ समान चरणा पार महिमाद्भुत ಕವಿ ಜನರು ಸದನ್ ಸುರಮುನಿ ಗಣ ವಿಹಿತ ಕಲಶನಿ ಹರಿದಿಜ ರಮಣ ಪಾಪ ಗಜೇಂದ್ರ ಸಿಂಹವರ ತ್ಯಾಗ ರಾಜಾದಿರುತ ಜಗದಾನಂದ ಕಾರಕ ಜಯ ಜಾನಕಿ ಪ್ರಾಣ ನಾಯಕ ಜಗದಾನಂದ ಕಾರಕ ನಿನಿ ಸಚ್ಚ ಸರಿ 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 ರಿ ಸನಿ ಸ ಮರಿ ಸನಿ ಪರಿ ಸನಿ ಪಮ ಗಾಮ ಪನಿ ಸ ಸನಿ ಮರಿ ಸನಿ ಸರಿ ಮೈ ಸನಿ ಸರಿ ನಿರಿ ಸನಿ ಸನಿ ಪ ಗಾಮ ಪನಿ ಸ Baba mama ni ni baba mama ni ni baza ni ni baba mani ni baza ni mari sa ni re sa sa pama gama ri sa ni sa ri ri ga gama pama gama pa ni sa ri ni sa sa mari sa ni re sa ni pa gama pa ni sa ni sani sari ni ri sani pa ma pa ni sa pa ma ma ni ni pa pa sa ni ni ma ri sani sari sa ni ni sa sa pa pa ni ni ma ma pa ga ma pa ni sa ni sari ma ri sari sani sani pa ga ma pa ni sa ma ri sani ri sa sari sani pa sa ni ni ma ma pa ni ri sani pa ni sari sa ri sani sari sa pa ma ga ma pa ni sari sa ni ni sa sa pa pa ni ni sa ri sa sa ma ma ri sa ri sani sari sa ri sani sari sani sari ri sani sari ri sani pa ma ga ma pa ni pa ma ga ma ri ga ma ga 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 ma pa ni pa ma ga ma pa ma ga ma ri sani pa ma ni pa ma ga ma pa ni pa ma ga ma pa pa ma ga ma pa ni sa pa ni 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 sa 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 ni sa ri sa ni pa ni ri sa ri ga 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 ma pa ma ga ma ri sa ni sa pa ma ni pa ma ga ma ri sa ni sa sa ma ma ri sa ni ni ri sa ni pa ni sa ma ma ri sa ni pa ma pa ni sa ma ri sa ni pa ma pa ni sa ri sa ni pa ma ga ma pa ni sa ni pa ma ga ma pa ni sa ma ri sa ni pa ni sa ri sa ni pa ma ga ma pa ma ni pa ma ri sa sa ga ma pa ni pa ma ga ma pa ni sa ni pa ma pa ni sa ri sa sa ga ma pa ma ga ma pa ni pa ni sa ri sa ma ri sa ni pa ma pa ni sa ri sa ni pa ma ga ma pa ni sa ni pa ma ga ma pa ni sa ma ri sa ni pa ni ri sa ni pa ma pa ni sa ni pa ma jagadaananda karaka ಇನ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ 4 ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಶ್ರೀರಾಮ ವಿವಾಹ ಅಂತ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಮ ಸೀತೆ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಮದುವೆ ಆಗಿ ಅವರು ಇಡೀ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ಇಷ್ಟು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಸುತ್ತಲೂ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ದೇರ್ ಆಲ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಯೋಧ್ಯ ಗ್ಯಾದರ್ಡ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ ದೆಮ್ ಸೆಲೆಬ್ರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ದೇರ್ ಮ್ಯಾರೇಜ್. ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಈ ಕೃತಿ ನಂಗೆ ನೆನಪಾಯಿತು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ತ್ಯಾಗರಾಜರ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಪೀಸಸ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಪಂಚರತ್ನ ಕೃತಿಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಜಗದಾನಂದ ಕಾರಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೋಟಿ ರಾಮನಾಮ ತಾರಕಕ್ಕೆ ಸಮಾನ ಈ ಕೃತಿನ ಹಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂತ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಆಲ್ ದಿ ಅಡ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರಾಮ ಇಸ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ರಾಮನಾಮ ತಾರಕ ಜಪ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಜಗದಾನಂದ ಕಾರಕಾಯ ನಮಃ, ಜಯ ಜಾನಕಿ ಪ್ರಾಣನಾಥಾಯ ನಮಃ. ಸೊ ಈ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗುಣಗಳು ರಾಮನ ಸಕಲ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣ ಗುಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ರಾಮನ. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕಮ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕೃತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ತ್ಯಾಗರಾಜರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಆ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ನ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಸೋ ಎಕ್ಸೈಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಸಿ ದೆಮ್ ಬೋತ್. ಒಬ್ಬರು ತಟ್ಟೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಒಬ್ಬರು ಮರ್ತೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ವಾಪಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಏನೋ ಮನೆಗೆ ತರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹಣ್ಣು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆರತಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ image has so much going on in it, but Rama Sita subtly sitting in the chariot, so silently watching all this thing happening around them. So adannu nodidaga nange ee kriti mansige bantu, so I thought I'll present this. We'll conclude the concert with 2 more compositions. The next one is a Rama Bhajan.
गुणगान करिए राम का, गुणगान करिए राम का, गुणगान करिए राम का, गुणगान करिए राम प्रभु की सभ्यता राम का, गुणगान करिए राम का, गुणगान करिए राम प्रभु की सभ्यता का, भद्रता का ध्यान धरिए, ध्यान धरिए राम का, गुण गुण चिरंतन राम के, गुण गुण चिरंतन राम धुन सुमिरन रतन धन, राम धुन सुमिरन रतन धनु, मनुजता को कर विभूषित, मनुजता को कर विभूषित, मनुज को धनवान करिए, ध्यान धरिए राम का, गुणगान करिए राम का, गुणगान सगुण ब्रह्म स्वरूप सुंदर सगुण ब्रह्म स्वरूप सुंदर सुजन रंजन रूप सुखकर सगुण ब्रह्म स्वरूप सुंदर सुजन रंजन रूप सुखकर राम आत्मा रामा रामा राम आत्मा राम आत्मा राम का सम्मान करिए राम आत्मा राम आत्मा राम का सम्मान करिए ध्यान धरिए राम का गुणगान करिए राम का गुणगान करिए राम प्रभु की सभ्यता का भद्रता का ध्यान धरिए राम का गुणगान करिए राम का गुण राम का गुण राम का गुणगान करिए राम का गुणगान करिए Concluding the concert with another masterpiece of Tyagaraja Swami, Sita Kalyana Vaibhogam. पवन जय स्तुति पत्र पवन चरित्र पवन जय स्तुति पत्र पवन चरित्र रवि सोमवर नेत्र रमणीय गात्र पवन जय स्तुति पत्र पवन चरित्र रवि सोमवर नेत्र रमणीय गात्र सीता कल्याण वैभोग में राम कल्याण वैभोग में पामरासुर भीम परिपूर्ण काम. Tyagaraja so cleverly, one is Pamarasura Bhima, the Rautravatar of Rama is, he is the Bhima of all the Asuras, the strongest of all. And then he says, Paripurna Kama, the most attractive one. So the word play that he does is something that is not explainable. Amara Sura Bhima Paripurna Kama Shama Jagadabhirama Saketa Dhama Pamara Sura Bhima Paripurna Kama Shama Jagadabhirama Saketa Dhama Sita Kalyana Vaibhogame Rama Kalyana Vaibhogame Sarvalokadhara Samaraikadhira Garvamanasa Natalokadhara Sarvalokadhara Samaraikadhira Samaraikadhira Garvamanasa Natalokadhara Sita Kalyana Vaibhogame Rama Kalyana Vaibhogame Parameshanuta Gita Bhavajaladhipota Taranikula Sanjata Tyagarajanuta Parameshanuta Gita Bhavajaladhipota Taranikula Sanjata Tyagarajanuta Sita Kalyana Vaibhogame Rama Kalyana Vaibhogame Vaibhogame Vaibhogame. Thanks to all of you for making it to the concert, and I'm glad to say that today I'm accompanied by Vidwan Keshav Mohankumar on the violin. On the Mridangam is Vidwan Vinay Nagarajan, and on the Ghatam is Vidwan Shamith Gowda, and on the Tamburi is Chiranjeevi Aditya Bhaskar. Thanks to one and all.
I'm inclined to get poetic again because I construe myself an outsider. A lot of people say, no, you're no longer the outsider, but certainly for music, I'm the outsider. But there's something very unique about music. And I'm reminded of the poem by Ella Wheeler Wilcox. She says, laugh and the world laughs with you, weep and you weep alone, for the brave old earth must borrow its mirth and has trouble enough of its own. Sing and the hills will answer, sigh it is lost in the air, for the echo rebounds to joyful sound and shrinks from voicing care. And so what a befitting way to conclude our event, the inaugural event at the Chandrashale Totti, for which I express much gratitude yet again to Her Highness Dr. Pramoda Devi Wadiyar. The office bearers of His Highness Srikantadatta Narasimharaja Wadiyar Foundation require much to be congratulated in bringing this beautiful event together. My dear friend Ram Varma ji, thank you so much for coming in all the way from Kilimanur. Sharan is absent but always present in this project. Thank you so much. Gayatri Sinha, who's given this such academic heft. And my very dear friend Ashwath, who, for whom we had Sita Kalyanam sung at the very end. The musicians, Vidushi Smruthi Bhaskar, a wonderful rendition which really resonated with the ambience of the book launch, accompanied by Vidwan Keshav Mohankumar, Vidwan Vinay Nagarajan, Vidwan Shamith Gowda, and Vidwan Aditya Bhaskar. I also wish to express much gratitude to the media and the live streaming technicians, the Vaibhav Enterprises, Gigi Sriram, there he is, thank you so much, and Abbas for all of the infrastructure. I also wish to make a special mention of volunteers and dear friends, Prithvi Prabhu and Anuka Sushma for the book sales. Thank you so much for being here. They are from the Pran Collective. To Nishit for talking about the history of the Chandrashale Totti. Thank you so much. I also wish to thank the catering team, Pramod from Healthy Hut, to all the security personnel, the palace officers and media, and to all of you ladies and gentlemen, not only here physically, but also online. Thank you so much for attending this function and for being a part of making history. Thank you.